What's one thing that completely changed your perspective on life?
Motherhood, yeah, for sure.
You can find greatness within yourself. You don't have to find it from inspirations of other people. Hey, what's a bad piece of advice you hear all the time?
That you can do, anything if you set your mind to it. I think that that's very cliche.
Yo, what up? It's your boy. I am the Barber Plug, owner of the Barber Plug Supply Company and 2 barbershops here in Dallas, Texas. Today I'm with my wife, Jasmine. She is the Barber Plug, and I got a couple questions for you. Are you ready?
I don't know what the questions are, so I'm not sure, but let's go.
What's the best decision you ever made?
To not go back to my job after maternity leave and start working full-time here with you.
What's one thing that completely changed your perspective on life?
Motherhood, yeah, for sure. And balancing that with the business sometimes can be a little tricky, and people do ask me about that. How do I do that? And it's just prioritizing what needs to be prioritized and just making sure you make time for what's important. And I feel like family is most important, so just making sure I make time for them every single day.
Hey, what's a bad piece of advice you hear all the time?
That you can do, anything if you set your mind to it. I think that that's very cliche. If I wanted to be a basketball player in the NBA right now and I worked really hard, I'm not going to be one. So using what your gifts are and maximizing that is really what should be said. So that one.
If you could swap lives with anyone for 24 hours, who would it be and why?
I was going to say a really funny answer, but I'm not going to because my husband's right here. I was going to say Jalen Hurts' wife. No, but I'm just joking. That was a joke. I would never choose that one. Swap wives. I actually really enjoy my life. I don't think I would swap with anybody. Okay, so now your turn. What is a failure that ended up being a blessing in disguise?
Failure? Well, I really don't have any failures. I just have lessons. The biggest lesson that I ever learned was, to take risks, but take calculated risk. Leaving my job. I was an accountant. I decided to take the risk and learn the lessons of everything that I learned on my job and then take it and apply it to my 9 to 5. So sometimes, jumping off of the edge, you either learn to fly or you're going to fall flat on the ground. And I learned to fly.
One thing that completely changed your perspective in life?
Marriage.
Can you elaborate on that?
Once you get married, you have to take into account another person, and all your interests is not what matters. It's more about the best interest for the family and another person. And it's kind of like, you work all your life to please God and make him happy, but then you get a wife and then you start to realize you serving 2 masters, God and that wife.
What's a bad piece of advice that you hear all the time?
I really don't pay attention to what everybody else is saying, but a lot of people talk about how you have to be consistent, and you can consistently do the wrong things and have a lot of bad outcomes. You gotta be consistent and do positive things. You have to consistently work the right way.
It's kind of like when they say practice makes perfect, and it's not. It's like perfect practice makes perfect, kind of like that idea. Okay, so if you had 30 seconds to say anything to the world, what would you say?
Stop worrying about what everybody thinks about you. You're only gonna live one time. Turn up, have fun, show your true abilities. Don't worry about if this person or that person likes you or not. You are the greatest version of yourself, and everybody here on earth needs to see that. They don't need to see you imitating somebody else. Be exactly who you are. If they love you, they love you. If they don't like you, forget them. But I'm Devontae Sanders. I am who I am, and I'm him. And that's how I became the Barber Plug. But first, I'm Devontae.
Focus on what's important, no matter what you're doing, where you're at, whatever stage in life. You may not be where you want to be, but find something that's important and what matters to you in that moment. And just make sure, you're doing it with passion and purpose. If you had to give a TED Talk tomorrow with no preparation, what would you talk about?
I would talk about true faith and how, true faith comes from having self-confidence and belief in that inner person of who you are. You can find greatness within yourself. You don't have to find it from inspirations of other people. Since we're all connected and part of the universe, all you have to do is download one piece of the universe that's in us all and then elaborate on that. Just let it flow out of your mouth and your heart, whatever God or the universe or whatever it is telling you, and be that stream of consciousness that the message needs to be told. Just be an instrument, be a vessel, be a trumpet, be like water. And
he's giving y'all the TED Talk right now and you didn't even know it.
Allow allow God to work and flow through you because the greatness is already within. You just gotta let it come out.
If I had 30 seconds, I wouldn't do that first off. He is the public speaker, not I. That's his gift. I think it is a gift to be able to do that. And it is a huge flex that I do not have. I'd be like, you got it, babe. Go ahead and go talk for me. If you could swap lives with anyone for 24 hours, who would it be?
I would swap lives probably with Elon Musk. I want to know what it feels like to have all that power. So yeah, I'm gonna be Elon.
One piece of advice that people overlook or undervalue. I would say maybe like everything that you need is like already within you. Yeah, whatever you need, it's already right there. You don't need anything else. Like everything else is just added like cherry on top. But I don't think people believe that, and that's the problem.
Yeah. There's a quote by Confucius that talks about how you cannot teach a man anything. You can just expose to him truths that he already holds from within. I can tell you 1 + 1 = 2, but until you conceptualize that in your own mind, understand that, and realize how to get there, then I'm just talking to you. All the truths of the universe and the Bible and time and all the hidden knowledge, it's all from within. Don't listen to nobody else. Listen to what your brain is telling you. It's feeding you information from our creator, and all that other stuff is just outside noise. Tune into the right frequency, 432 hertz. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just messing around. But yeah, I am kind of serious. This is the Barber Plug Supply Company. We got our barber shop over there. We got our supply store over there on the other side, and if you want some clippers and stuff, holla at us.